I've read that taurine can help palpitations. What is your opinion? So I'll kind of weigh in on this, Andy, and then you can weigh in as well. So taurine is a protein-like molecule that is part of the amino acid category, and taurine originally was isolated from an animal model, and taurine, like Taurus or the bull, from Latin. And here is actually data from the American Journal of Cardiology, 2008, taurine and atrial fibrillation prevention. And this was actually pretty impressive. Take a look at this, Andy, if you haven't seen this one in a while. 2 grams of taurine twice daily for 7 days before coronary artery bypass graft surgery. It led to an AFib incidence of 11% versus 47% in control. That's pretty dramatic, what that was. That seems to me like that should be a very simple standard of care in that category there for AFib. And I think, very often we talk about atrial fibrillation. It is very similar to the palpitations. These are all kind of a continuum in a lot of cases where PACs begets atrial fibrillation. So these are all different labels for the same root cause processes. This was actually very impressive as well. Taurine plus magnesium showed that the supplementation reduced PVCs by 53% and PACs by 24%. So that was exciting on what taurine can do there. Here's some of the ways that it does. Regulates intracellular calcium, which is a key trigger in AFib, decreases and improves lowers sympathetic tone, reduces excitotoxicity, stabilizes the membrane, antioxidant, supports mitochondrial health, and reduces oxidative stress. So that's always going to be a winner there. And then, our best sources of taurine at Natural Heart Doctor, just to give some of our stuff that we've created, the plug here, Kickstart My Heart, which is our bison, liver, heart, and kidney complex, the wild salmon roe. These are all food-based sources of taurine. They're not straight taurine powders. The best and closest thing we have to a taurine powder is inside of our vessel support, which is the L-arginine, citrulline, and taurine, plus the grapeseed extract. These are all nitric oxide boosters. But, it's nice, Andy, when in the natural world, we've got some evidence-based strategies that work. And I think that especially you can't go wrong with either one of the food-based products, Kickstart or the wild salmon roe.
Yeah, good point there. There's substances we don't know about, Jack, that are present in whole food sources. Like, we may know vitamin K, we may know omega-3 fatty acids, we may know vitamin E, but in nature, there may be some small substances that help with either absorption or function of any of those vitamins and minerals or substances. And that's why when possible, I prefer whole food based supplements like Kickstart My Heart, emu oil, and wild salmon roe.
Yeah, we're really moving forward as a company, and it's, listen, you live and you learn, right? You were a conventional cardiologist. I was a conventional cardiologist. We did the best that we could, the best of how we were trained. And then now when you learn more, when you know better, you do better. And I think that's where we're at. And I think one statement that I love to make is that the person who's committing the crime is the person who knows better, but they don't do it. I think that that's really, really not spiritually aligned with what we need to be. Once you learn the truth, you have to profess that truth. And again, I'm so grateful that you're here, with me in this arena, because both of us could have stayed in straight conventional medicine. We both could have stayed in the insurance model. And although, you doing all the procedures you've done and that I've done, we've been in some pretty harrowing situations. But one thing that was not ever really a concern was when your next paycheck was coming, because there are so many insurance-based patients that are there. Now we step over here into a cash model, if you will, where we're able to give people real answers, real time, with that. And therefore, we do not accept insurance for that arena. But it really is. It really is nice when we do have these evidence-based things. And again, back to the food is medicine type thing. I'm going to throw this out there right now. I do have one thing in particular, and we have Ryan Kimball, one of our coaches. He's monitoring the chat box as well. I'm starting this offer right here. This is our wild salmon roe product. This is the only product that I'm personally going to link to tonight because I think that this is really just such a game-changing product. It is one of the most expensive or biggest investment supplements that you're going to make on the surface. But if you buy this in bulk, actually, if you click on Learn More, it'll open up another window for you. You're not going to lose it from here. You'll have it after we log out of the presentation. But this is our wild salmon roe in a capsule. All the vitamins, minerals, proteins, fats, EPA, DHA to stabilize those membranes. And what's cool about this, Andy, is that you can actually get rid of a lot of your other synthetic supplements and just take this one particular product. It's got caloric value. It's part of the food budget. The placenta,
I take it, as you know. I mean, I take.
You take it. I take it, and I'm really excited about because it's not. You don't take it and all of a sudden you feel like you had a deep dish pizza from Lou Malnati's in Chicago. But what you find out is that when I take my supplements, the Kickstart and the Wild Salmon Roe, and I take that with my coffee in the morning, and oftentimes I don't eat for several hours afterwards, and because it is so satiating and so filling. So in any case, there's that particular product. I'll leave that up there for a little bit. But, again, the taurine is evidence-based, and it's very exciting on how it works. There are many cheap taurine products that are out there, and in the studies, they were likely using the very cheap form of taurine. So it's not that that's not going to work. The question is, can we do even better when we're getting it from the food? And I believe that the answer is yes on that as well.
And Jack, that's the question we all have about the fish oil studies. We know that so much fish oil is rancid, which means it's oxidized. 45% or so in recent studies of fish oil supplements are oxidized or rancid. The wild salmon roe is protected from being oxidized because it has the astaxanthin, which is a natural antioxidant, giving the salmon its orange color. But I really think if they would have used wild salmon roe, and I'm a guy who knows quite a bit about fish oil. I used to own the IND for fish oil for AFib, 25 years ago. I really think a product like wild salmon roe would do infinitely better than the fish oil that they used in these studies.